4 weeks into the war between the United States, Israel, and Iran. And instead of slowing down, it is accelerating. Senior Iranian leaders are being assassinated. Critical energy infrastructure is under attack. And one of the most important shipping routes is effectively shut. At this point, the question is not whether things escalate further. It's how far this goes, and how much damage it does before a way out. Section 1. The war is intensifying. Let us start with what has changed. Over the past week, Iran has lost senior military and regime figures, most notably Ali Larijani, who had been running the government. Alongside him, heads of besieged forces and intelligence services have also been killed. This is not just attrition. This is systematic decapitation of leadership. At the same time, the US and Israel have ramped up their campaign. This past week saw the heaviest day of bombing so far. The US focused on missile infrastructure, while Israel targeted Iran's industrial base. So this is no longer just about stopping attacks. It is about degrading Iran's ability to fight altogether. But here is the key point. It is not working, at least not in the way it was intended. Because Iran is still fighting back. Section 2 energy is now the battlefield. This war has entered a new phase. It is no longer just military targets. It is energy. One of the most significant strikes hit Iran's South Pars gas field, the largest in the world. That alone is a major escalation. But Iran's response is just as important. They have continued launching missiles at Israel and drone attacks across the Gulf. Notably, Iran is now using systems it held back earlier. Missiles with hypersonic characteristics and intermediate-range ballistic missiles, including launches toward Diego Garcia, a US-UK base 4,000 kilometers away. That is a signal of intent to expand the geographic scope. Section 3. The Strait of Hormuz problem. At the center of all this is one critical choke point. 20% of the world's oil passes here. Right now, traffic is dramatically reduced. Not completely stopped, but volumes are low because the risk is simply too high. Section 4. The US response. Donald Trump has tried a different approach, asking allies and even China to help reopen the strait. But the response? No. Allies were not consulted before the war began. NATO is defensive, and trust in US decision-making is limited. Section 5. No clear strategy. Here is the core issue. There is no clear path to winning this war, despite tactical success. US naval assessments suggest the escorts themselves may not be safe. This raises the possibility of something much bigger. Ground operations. Section 6. What happens next? Both sides operate under different assumptions. Iran's strategy is to cause enough disruption that the war becomes too costly. The US is drifting toward escalation. But escalation means higher costs and the possibility of a much wider war. For weeks in, this war is not just continuing. It is evolving into something more dangerous for global energy markets.